Well, finally, the Minister of Agriculture, she relates to farmers because she used to co-own a campground, or still does. Anyway, finally, the Minister of Agriculture has talked about the drought happening in Western Canada. Note that she also calls it extreme weather. She doesn't call it a drought in her tweet. They have to keep the climate change narrative going.
And it's just a question of, is it severe or is it just a plain drought? We need to recognize the magnitude of this, and that's why we have the Minister of Agriculture, who has a very caring heart.
I respect the fact that someone else might have experienced that differently.
Let me begin by recognizing that we are on Treaty 1 territory on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, Dakota, and Dene, and the and the homeland of the Métis Nation.
Not supposed to be here.
God.
That spirit still runs strong in our rural communities today. Sorry, I thought I could do it, but not.
Thank you. You love me. You really love me.
I want you all to know that we remain united in our goal of ensuring our hardworking producers are fully supported through this crisis. In Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, British Columbia, and Ontario that are eligible for livestock tax deferral due to the recent extreme drought conditions. We are now working to identify other affected regions. These actions will allow affected producers in these regions to defer a portion of their 2021 income from sales to next year. This will help them manage cash flows this year and reduce the tax burden next year by expensing the purchase of new breeding animals. Our government is also moving on a number of important measures in collaboration with provincial governments.
I'm just going to interject on this one point here, where they gave $1.75 billion to compensate for the trade deal that they signed at the USMCA. The funny thing about that is the very small percentage that they're supposed to let the American producers sell into Canada, they didn't actually go through with the deal. They actually stopped them all. So they gave them $1.75 billion in compensation and still stopped all American producers from being able to sell their products in Canada. This is such integrity.
Today, I am also announcing federal support to all prairie provinces for immediate bilateral changes to the cost-shared crop insurance programs to make drought-damaged crops available for feed. These measures will increase the amount of crops available for livestock producers to help alleviate the dire shortage of feed. We are also supporting Manitoba's proposal to expedite any payments under the cost-shared disaster hay benefit. As of last week, we received the initial request from 5 provinces to start the process of putting together an agri-recovery disaster relief program. Federal and provincial officials are now working together to do the assessments and design those programs province by province. We are working around the clock to turn those around as quickly as possible to help farmers with the extraordinary costs they face.
Just going to jump in here again. I just want to let you kind of, what she's essentially saying is that the government is now going to let the food you grow as crops sell as food. For agri-stability, to allow more producers to access support.
Producers can also get immediate assistance by applying for interim payments under agri-stability.
They love this agri-stability plan. They talk about it all the time. But it's a government insurance plan, basically, and insurance is there to make money. That's why they push it so much, and they want the provinces to bear the brunt, of this insurance plan, which is impossible to trigger. It's like, it's about as easy to get going as Trudeau's mom into a threesome. It's not that easy.
I'm urging the prairie provinces to move forward on that as well. Farm Credit Canada has also announced that it is committed to working with customers affected by drought with solutions such as short-term credit options and deferral of principal payments.
Okay, so you get, when it's all smoke clears, you get deferral of principal payments. You still have to pay the interest, obviously, you just don't have to pay the principal. And you get a tax deferral, for next year. This is for the cattle guys. What about the farmers and stuff like that? There's really nothing coming down the pipe for them. But this is an industry that makes $110 billion annually in Canada. And they virtually get nothing. They get basically shit on because the government doesn't care about agriculture in Canada at all, unless you're in Quebec. That's about it. So just wanted to make sure people know that, the stepchild provinces of Canada here once again get put in the cellar. Oh, man. They unfranked us.
And for those struggling with mental health issues, FCC offers an online resource called Rooted in Strength, which lists the many resources available. We will continue to explore every avenue to help our world-class farmer and ranchers and their families through this crisis. Farmers do so much for our food security and our economy. They demand and deserve our support. I know that I speak for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and myself when I say to all producers affected by the disaster, we have your back to get through the challenges of today and to position you for a sustainable future in agriculture. And we will do all we can to help you get back on your feet and once again producing the best food in the world.
Well, there you have it. Government just said that Canada produces the best food in the world. So why do we have to have any more regulations in farming to prove that we produce the best food in the world when they already know it? We don't have to do anything else like that. So, all the stuff they're putting in for sustainability and all these things, we already produce the best. How do you get better than the best? We're the best. So let's let that sham wash itself away. We can reject all that and use that soundbite forever. But you can see basically that this thing is the dumbest fucking thing. They didn't do anything at all. I put up things where they gave money to just shit they don't care about, shit that enriches all of their buddies, and something that brings in billions of dollars every single year. They basically sent somebody out to the middle of nowhere, Manitoba, and just shit on the floor like everybody else in Manitoba does. But that's what they do. It's not even like a lie. That's what everybody does that in Manitoba. It's like a rite of passage. That's why my family had to settle more west, There's some people even saying what a dumpster fire this thing is. There is absolutely nothing in this. There's no help for anybody. It's an absolute joke. I've had erasers sharper than these guys. Gosh. These people just hate agriculture.